Hello. Okay, we are back by popular demand with the second episode here. We have a fun one. Probably won't be too long, but a solid discussion underway. Basically, the idea is choosing one shot size from some solid movies. Okay, each common shot size, and why they're the best. Now, what's the best mean? Okay. It doesn't mean it's the greatest objectively. It just means that at that moment that shot seems like the perfect shot in that movie for the moment, and it could be from any movie. These just happen to be some favorites. You
Yeah.
think that's about right, Teddy?
Yep. I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. I
Yeah.
mean, you guys are going to see, I'm sure, a lot of things you recognize, iconic moments, and
Yeah.
like just shots that encapsulate that moment in the most
It's good
perfect
to
way.
yeah. It's good to favor
Um,
the
yeah.
iconic ones.
Before we get
Um,
into it, light spoiler warnings for these movies. We probably won't get too much into the plots.
yeah, it's probably not too
Many of
big of a
these
spoiler
movies are
warning.
many of these movies are 60 years
Incredibly
old.
famous, incredibly famous, and
Yeah.
you've probably seen all of them. I would wager.
Yes. Most of
So
these.
let's just do this thing. So we're starting off with the extreme close-up. Teddy is on uh, screen left. I'm on screen right, and we're just gonna get right into it. Teddy, you can take us away.
All right, extreme close up. So, really focused in on one part of a person's face. I count Hal 9000 as a person because of the role that he plays in the story. So I chose this shot we talked about before. I mean, you could choose just a million shots from
Yeah, we
this movie
talked about
alone.
this.
2001: A Space
Yeah,
Odyssey, one of the most well shot movies
yeah,
ever. But I chose this because in those scenes, in those early scenes in it, when they are on the spaceship and they're talking to Hal, and every time he's talking, it's cutting into this tight
yeah,
view of just this red dot, like an eye staring back as he speaks he's a robot, he speaks very
yeah.
monotone. But it creates this really
But there is
intimidating.
a creepiness to his voice, you know?
Yes, yes,
It's kind of it's almost like Kevin Spacey in Moon. It's like it's very unsettling and um
I'm sorry, Dave.
yeah,
And
exactly.
this adds to it, this single red eye staring
Yeah.
back.
And I
Yeah.
mean it's so intentional. I mean, imagine if it was green or purple or blue. Like
It would it
2001: A
would be
Space
saying something
Odyssey,
different.
it wouldn't be a movie anymore. It wouldn't be what it is. Yeah, it would not even be a feature length motion picture. But yeah, this is my favorite movie of all time. Is 2001: A Space Odyssey. So I could talk about it for hours. But I mean, I think you have a great choice here in this shot. Obviously, the DP situation on this movie was vastly complicated. Took over 2.5 years to shoot. Panavision Ultra 65 millimeter film, just a ridiculously tedious production to shoot. Swapped out DPs eventually. John Alcott got the promotion, and after that, Stanley Kubrick finally found the DP he loved. He had never really repeated DPs for more than one movie or two movies prior to this, and then George Unsworth left the production about 2 years in, I believe, and John Alcott took over. He had previously been working as like a camera assistant on the movie, and then after that, he used Alcott for Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, The Shining, and he would have worked with Alcott even more, but Alcott I think died in '85 or '86. But
Yeah. But
yeah,
there's a
so
reason the process of making this movie was so long and tedious because
yes,
Kubrick picks every shot so
it's
carefully.
crazy. Yeah, this is. I mean, it's a visual
And this is
feast.
a
I
relatively
mean,
simple
every
shot.
Kubrick
I mean, it
movie
doesn't
is,
move,
but
it's just Hal's face,
yeah,
but it's still so deliberate.
yes, yeah, that's true. Okay, my one, a little bit more contemporary. We got Let the Right One In. For anyone who has not seen Let the Right One In, one of the best vampire movies of the 21st century. Uh, to me, like this, this is when Hoyt van Hoytema, before he really started shooting, the Nolan movies, or I think, well, he shot Her first, right? The Spike Jonze movie, and then, or well, Interstellar was that was 2014 that came out.
2014. This movie's 2008.
2008, and Interstellar, or sorry, Her is 2013. After Her, it was like, okay, he's done a Spike Jonze movie, and then he
Yeah,
started shooting all
Nolan's
the large format, shooting all the Nolan movies. But and now he shoots everything in IMAX. But Let the Right One In, beautiful movie, 35 millimeter, and just every single moment in the movie is visually awesome. Hoyt van Hoytema tells the story so well. I mean, the use of color in the movie is amazing too. They really withhold the color red until the first time we see the girl who, yes, this is spoiled. She's a vampire. She bites somebody in the town, and that's kind of the first time. And then after that, we start to see the color red. But very very cold color palette, beautiful shots, amazing highlights, and you can really see why Hoyt van Hoytema became the superstar that he is today. Just
It's a great way to display the shift in the movie from
yo,
before
yeah,
we know who the vampire is to after
it's true.
with using the
Yeah.
color palette.
Or there's just something spooky going on, and then we
Yeah,
really
but you don't
start
know
to
what
learn
it
it
is.
after.
And then the
Yeah, and
red
it's
really
also a
is like
great coming of
that's
age movie at the same time. Um, it's awesome. I mean, every moment is there's like a moment at the start of the movie where the main character's name is Oscar or Oscar, I don't know, and the teacher in his classroom just like lights a candle, and it's shot so like beautifully, and it's just
hmm
for no real reason. Like it has no reason being that beautiful, except for the fact that it's a young Hoyt van Hoytema, or a younger Hoyt van Hoytema, and we all know where he is today. Okay, on to the close up. Take it away.
So I selected this shot from the end of Django Unchained, which is one of my favorite movies. Um, if we just look at what an awesome shot.
It's a
It's
great
a
shot.
the whole movie is a phenomenal performance from Jamie Foxx, and I think this moment right at the end of the movie
Yeah,
really encapsulates it. We see him smiling while behind him the world burns, and I think it represents a lot about his character. He comes from, very light spoilers for Django Unchained. He comes from a very traumatic backstory. He was a slave at one point. He escaped.
of course. Yeah.
But through all that, he kept his sort of swagger and his style. And, he's got a smile on his face as he explodes the manor behind him.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I think also the use of focus, depth of field in the focus in this image is pretty important. Color scheme is really important. Pretty monochromatic image. Everything is orange, um, and it's kind of like the big what's the word? It's the big wrap up. It's the big finale to
Yeah.
everything, and
Yeah.
you really couldn't have asked for a better shot for
Yeah.
that
And you
movie.
see the background behind him is out of focus. We're
Hmm.
focusing on him because he's moved on from that part of his life and we're it's in
Yeah.
it's in the background. He's in the
I also
foreground.
think it's interesting we can't see his eyes at all.
Hmm.
How it's a complete black here. Sometimes in movies you'll see even a character wearing glasses, even though it's you get a reflection, you'll still see an eye light that kind of is
Right.
hitting their glasses, so that, like you have something to look at. But there's nothing there. No little unit hitting the eyes. It's we don't see
And I think
anything.
that's definitely a deliberate choice. You
Oh
have him
yeah,
black glasses, black
100%.
hat, black suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Um,
so it's even this thing where we see him smiling, but we can't really look into his eyes. And so it's like we're getting this message of this hero, but we're not even really looking him in his eyes. And it's kind of what is that saying?
yeah.
And that's sort of a thing with a lot of Tarantino movies that, you know, is every character a perfect character? Or is any character a perfect character
Yeah.
in a Tarantino movie?
I think, heroism can manifest itself in different
Yeah.
forms. Maybe
Yeah.
something unexpected.
But
Yeah.
yeah, Django, great movie, great screenplay. Okay. Richardson, great TP. So, Vertigo. Let's talk about Vertigo. Vertigo is a movie that has become like cool to hate. I've learned like people
I
just
haven't I haven't seen that actually.
yeah, well, it was at one point kind of like widely considered the best Hitchcock movie by pretty much everybody. I don't think it's his best. I think it's top three for sure. But now everybody's like, I don't like Vertigo. I think Vertigo's boring. It's not boring. It's one of the greatest color movies ever. At a time where you didn't have to shoot in color. And Hitchcock, I mean, his black and white is just as brilliant as his color is, but Vertigo is, oh my God, the use of greens and reds in this movie is
This shot really
stunning.
encapsulates
Yeah,
that.
and it's also the compositing in this movie is crazy for the time. Not to mention they invented, the Zolly in this movie, the Vertigo zoom, the jaw zoom, whatever you want to call it. It comes from this movie. And this is a sequence in the movie where the main character, played by James Stewart, he's hired to like protect this woman. And, he believes that she's dead, which, you gotta go watch the movie to see how insane the plot is. It's a really intricate plot. And we have this nightmare sequence, which is amazingly famous, and deservedly so. And it's kind of like it kind of has a Looney Tunes feel to it. It's almost
Head in
like
the
Looney
center
Tunes.
of the
Head in the
twirling, like
center, swirling around, and it's like the whole I guess like under or the thing that's being set up for the entire movie is the fact that James Stewart's character has vertigo from a PTSD incident at a high
right.
altitude. And so there is this constant, like trying to make the viewer feel as if like they're dizzy in this moment. And whenever he has like these anxious feelings or also falling in love with this second woman, it's crazy and just a beautiful, beautiful close up for the moment. And another moment where an eye light is not present because you don't
Hmm.
always need an eye light. The imagine the
Yeah, look at the two huge
yeah,
shadows beneath his eyes.
correct from the top lighting. It's like you can very intentionally leave out an eye light. It's just another decision. It's just another thing that you're subconsciously informing the audience of the person that they're seeing of who they are if they don't have an eye light. If they have a
It's something.
big, beautiful eye light, and they're Marilyn Monroe, yeah, you're telling them something. But
Hmm.
like if they're missing an eye light entirely,
It can
maybe
change.
they're hiding
And you can
something
use
or
that for different purposes. Like these two shots are not saying the same thing with that.
not even close.
But it's
Not
something
even
that I
close.
talk about all the time in filmmaking. It's all about intentionality.
That's right.
The way like people give like storytelling advice, like you have to tell a story this way or this way. You can do either way, but it's all about you're making a decision to do that. You're not just doing that because you
Yeah,
decided to.
correct. Correct.
That's you
As
didn't just
long as
leave
it's
the shadows
intentional,
out.
you can break any rule, you know.
Exactly.
You know the rules before you break them, but break them if you want to.
If it's an
Um,
intentional decision to
correct.
say
Yeah.
something, to make a point.
Yeah, think about like The Shining. Think about the scene with Delbert Grady when they cross the 180 line every single time, and it's like,
Right.
okay, that's such a good scene. Yeah, okay, I should have chose something from that. Okay,
There's
anyways,
a lot.
yeah,
Just
media,
disclaimer going forward, there's so many things that we had to leave out
yeah,
because there's a
it's
lot
it's
of
crazy.
movies, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, there's over a
But
million.
we just had to pick the ones
Yeah,
that we loved and that we wanted to talk about. And there are a
yes,
few honorable mentions, I think.
correct. Apologies to Chung Hoon Chung in advance, who's my favorite cinematographer who got snubbed here. Anyways, Teddy, take it away. MCU.
So I've selected the iconic shot from Get Out for my medium
Yeah.
close up.
Mm.
Um, this shot comes at a very important moment in the
You could
movie.
argue that's inciting incident, I would say. For
Yeah,
sure.
you could definitely argue that when he first sort of realizes the danger surrounding him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, this is when his character is first brought into the sunken place, which is this hypnotic trance state that he's put into by the mother of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
in this moment, he's completely frozen. He can't move, but he can still cry, which I think is very meaningful to what this movie is saying about this character and his place in the world. Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because he's trapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can't move up. He can't really fight what's happening to him in this dangerous situation. All he can do is watch in horror as tears run
It's
down his
true.
face.
Yeah. I mean,
At
it's
this point,
obviously, yeah, the movie, it has those deep themes of autonomy, like
mhm,
control over oneself,
yeah,
and also control over oneself in a society rather than like, is there a huge difference of if you can control your own body, but you can't control your standing in society, can you really control yourself?
Right.
And yeah, I think this movie, I mean, it was huge. I mean, this is a beautiful shot, but to me, this shot is kind of like the a representation of a big cultural moment that was informing people of where Jordan Peele was going to go in the future.
Hmm.
You know, like he's not just one half of Key and Peele anymore. He is a legitimate Hollywood player and director. And he, he really never took his foot off the gas
Hmm.
after this movie. And yeah, this is a
Yeah.
spectacular
And
shot.
he's an all-time great comic writer, but
Oh yeah,
I think from this point forward, people started being like, okay, he can really do some serious stuff too and
absolutely.
direct
Yeah,
great movies.
absolutely. And it definitely speaks to what it takes to be a comic or a
Hmm.
comedy writer. You need to understand kind of everything in order to know how to make people laugh.
Right.
And a great comic can be a great actor or a great horror writer, but
Yeah.
not every great horror writer can be a great comic.
I think it's interesting to see the overlap between horror and comedy specifically.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, I mean,
Absolutely.
if
And
you
there are
look at,
hilarious moments in this movie.
yeah,
Like let's
yeah,
not pretend like that's not the case. I mean, you could look at like the TSA agent Rod. I mean, obviously he ends up saving the day,
yeah,
but I mean he has some great comic relief moments.
yeah,
And there's like an eerie, unsettling, but still kind of comedic thing of when his girlfriend is on the phone and she's
yeah,
completely dead faced.
yeah,
But I mean, what a brilliant performance, and yet
sure.
her voice has all the emotion in it, as if
Hmm.
she's worried, but her face is completely
Yeah,
stone.
that's a very well acted scene
Crazy,
and
yeah.
well
What a
directed.
great movie, great shot, and you can also talk about the color, the orange and the cyan, um, which is beautiful. The lighting on the face is
Hmm.
incredible, amazing eye light, and I mean, we really feel for Kaluuya here, his character,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
he's
Because he's
falling
trapped. He can't do anything. I mean,
to the evil mother-in-law.
yeah, he can't do anything but watch as,
Yeah,
everything unfolds.
yeah, and yeah. After this, Jordan Peele became. It's kind of crazy how.
Right. It put a lot of respect on him as a serious filmmaker as
Yeah,
opposed to a comedy
it's
guy.
insane how fast it happened. Actually,
I know.
he
'Cause this is
like
a
you
great
go from
movie.
this to Nope, which is maybe like the biggest cinematography budget.
Yeah,
Maybe the Odyssey probably takes it now, but
you're right. But
oh
Nope
my
was
God,
Nope was a good
Nope.
movie too. I prefer Get Out
Oh
though.
yeah, Nope was spectacular. Nope was spectacular for so many reasons. Okay, some like it hot. Let's do this. Maybe the most famous comedy scene in the history of movies. It's possible. It's certainly top three. And you've got Jack Lemmon there in the getup, sitting next to the billionaire, whatever his name is, his name Osmore or something like that.
Something
And they
like that.
they they fallen in love, kind of. And then they're on the boat, and Jack Lemmon's trying to explain like everything that's going on. Uh, he's trying to explain that they can't get married, and he doesn't just want to outright say, "Well, I'm a man." And then finally, it all builds to that "I'm a man," and of course, the perfect
Nobody's
response of,
perfect.
"Yeah, nobody's perfect," and
Great.
nothing can bash his optimism. And just, I mean, what a great shot.
It
Would
looks
this
really good.
would it be the same if we were 50 feet away on a long lens, like probably, or on a wide
That would be
lens
a
rather?
very
Probably
strange
not.
decision.
I mean, it would still be a beautiful shot, seeing them against the background of the water and the sun in the background. Probably be a great shot, but you want to be right there with them. You have a great hair light here.
Hmm.
I'm curious to know the behind the scenes of how this one was shot. If this was a matte painting, it might be a matte painting. But yeah, amazing shot, amazing
I mean, just
movie.
talk about the comedy. Like,
Yeah,
nobody's perfect. Like, that's a hilarious punchline.
yeah. And I believe the story behind that was that that was like a placeholder line in the script that Billy Wilder had put, and then when they finally he was like, "I'll think of something better," and then when they finally got to shooting, he could never think of anything better than that, and they just
But
went with it. And
there's
his
nothing
performance
better.
was so
That's such
good.
a great line.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. Okay, mid shot. Let's do it. Take it away.
I had to choose something from Lord of the Rings, and there were about a million different options that I could have gone with. But the reason I went with this one, I mean, I think if you could encapsulate the series in a single shot, it has to be this.
Yeah, sure.
Frodo on the cracks of doom staring into the ring and
Mm-hmm.
completely frozen by confliction,
Yeah,
conflict, that word.
there you go.
Um,
Conflicting thoughts.
yes. Um, and we can talk about colors again. We can talk about the way his face looks. I mean, he's completely filthy,
Oh yeah.
which makes sense, all things considered. And the way the ring is framed in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think these movies just look so incredible.
Yeah. The Lord of the Ring movies, and I'm glad you mentioned them because they were kind of a transitional period for the film industry. They were like the last of the major epic movies to be shot on film
Film, yes.
before it all goes to digital. And Peter Jackson obviously is this technological whiz. He always has been. And the visual effects in the Lord of the Rings movies are spectacular. The color work is amazing, and these are coming out at the same times as the prequel Star Wars movies are coming out,
Yeah,
and those are the movies that are pushing the needle vis-a-vis digital filmmaking
visual. Mm,
and digital color grading being the first movies
yeah.
to
It's
adopt
interesting
that.
to compare those
Oh yeah, and
because I actually quite like the way the prequels look
they look
in
amazing.
in
They
many
look
cases.
amazing. I mean, aside from some of the visual effects, some
The
of the special
ridiculous.
effects are
Yeah.
terribly bad. Just because you have less latitude with those images, or latitude's not the right word. You have less resolution as well
Yeah.
to deal with, which is like why today when you shoot on a huge digital camera and you're shooting on like an Alexa 65, you have such a massive image. That's why you can
Yeah.
get great, easy visual effects.
Mhm.
But back then, when you're shooting on, those early Sony digital cameras, it's like no, you don't have that. But yeah, when you shoot on film, when you shoot in Super 35, like they did for Lord of the Rings, first of all, they also kind of like took over a country for a
New
couple
Zealand. Oh,
years.
like
Uh,
that's still the number one export from New Zealand ever is Lord of the Rings.
Correct. If I'm not mistaken, I think the New Zealand government had like a specific sect of the government dedicated to the Lord of the
Like
Rings,
a Lord of the Rings
and
committee.
yeah, and making the Lord of the Rings possible. And yeah, it's a miracle that those movies exist. I don't know what's
They're
going on with the
so good.
franchise now and those TV shows
Have you seen
and
Rings of Power?
no, I have not. But
I actually think it's not as bad as
it's
some
not as
people
bad
would
as
have.
some people are saying. I've heard
I enjoy them. They're
a
not
fair
like
amount. I've heard a fair amount of criticism on like who's been taking over the series and
mm,
questions about qualifications on everybody's part and like whether or not they're really going in a positive direction.
it's not
Not not
the
everybody's
pinnacle.
Peter Jackson, to be
No.
fair.
No. Yeah.
Very few people are, and yeah, the Lord of the Rings movies are amazing and visual feasts. Each one of them.
But
Each
yeah,
one of them. I
for sure.
mean, when people are like purists about shooting on film, it's like okay, yeah, but I mean, some amazing movies have obviously been shot digital, but color rendition is sort of one of those things that you can't beat with a digital sensor because your digital sensor it's 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 interpreting hues and it's sort of trying to fool your eye and it's mixing different hues together to
Mhm.
create
Yeah.
um, everything and yeah it's just not film
We can talk about
but
the eye thing again.
the
Previously dark
highlights
eye.
of course.
But in this, we have a very dark orangey shot,
But yeah,
and then
you've got
Elijah
two
Wood
highlights
has
here.
the bluest eyes ever,
Yeah,
which kind of they stand out a lot in this moment, which I think shows us about that's like the glimmer of hope left in
yeah,
Frodo before he
that's
ultimately
right.
decides to hold on to the
Correct,
ring. And
correct. So here we go. We had to choose one
this is
from
a great
yours and
shot.
one, and this is one that's. I mean, it's a lesson in framing. It's a lesson in production design. It's also a lesson in lighting, um, but it's a lesson also just in in filmmaking in general. Everything about this shot is perfect.
This is just one of those things where there's so many things that are done well.
Yeah, correct. I mean, you can't really pick out a flaw with this image. The symmetry is on point. You can also see, the performances obviously are amazing in this scene. You've got the spacesuits in the background. You've got the far side key light. Everything is perfect in this shot. Colors are beautiful. It is on my bucket list to see 2001: A Space Odyssey projected in 65 millimeter. They do it every time. It happens in New York and LA a few times a year at
Mm.
select theaters. So someday,
One of these days.
one of these
Hey, if
days.
you're in New York or LA, you have the opportunity.
That's
Sure,
right.
it's a great
I'm in
time.
I'm in those places frequently. So
Yeah.
here we go. Mid wide, the cowboy shot, if you will. Teddy, take it away.
I considered actually doing like some cowboy thing
Yeah,
to
of
this,
course. I
but
was.
I
I
had to
mean,
go
but
with
I.
the
Yeah, it's too basic, right? To go with
right. And I wanted to
actual
put
like John Wayne.
yeah. And The Prestige is one of my favorite movies. It's so good.
It's a great movie.
And I chose this shot because it's it's a movie about spectacle, and we
Hmm.
see him on stage, and the spotlight's on him, and his eyes are
Correct.
closed. He's raising his arms up, and he's really basking in his glory. It's about spectacle, but it's also about obsession and narcissism, right? Like these two characters, um, him and Christian
Yeah.
Bale's character.
Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale.
Yeah. This character, the great Danton, he's created this persona so that he can just soak in as much of this glory as he possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And see him closing his eyes. But actually if we had the clip here instead, we would see him open his eyes and kind of glance to the side because he's insecure and he's looking
Mm-hmm.
around.
He
He's not
needs
doing
the feedback, positive
it. Yeah,
feedback.
he needs to see the people cheering him
Yeah.
on and he wants to see he wants Christian Bale to see,
Mm-hmm.
oh, look how cool I am, because they have this rivalry.
Yeah,
Um,
correct. And I think you made a lot of good points there and used a lot of good words there. Like, for one, soaking in. He's obviously soaking in this spotlight,
but yeah,
right? He's soaking in, the cheers, but he's also soaking in the light.
hmm
And this is a great example of one of those shots where a DP might shoot it and be like, this isn't going to go in my reel. Because, like, if you look at it, on the surface, there's nothing that special.
no,
It's flat lit, hard shadow in the background. There's nothing particularly beautiful in itself about it, and that's okay because it's
this is what we
not.
said in the beginning. It's about what it means.
It's for the
In,
moment, and if the DP was an asshole who is egotistical, and they went in there and they changed the whole setup
the whole
and changed
lighting,
where they were placing their camera to make it fucking look amazing, or even place the camera behind them and did a silhouette type deal. Because they want to be praised by other filmmakers or other image creators. You've now fucked the movie up
yeah, maybe it
because
would have looked great, but it wouldn't have shown
you've
what.
robbed them of this psychological exploration of Hugh Jackman's
Hmm
character,
Yeah,
of seeing him baking in this spotlight, and that is a sort of eerie look to him. How cold the light
yeah.
is.
And look at
With
his skin. He almost looks like a ghost.
he kind of looks like he's in a coffin. And I think that's all incredibly intentional,
Yeah,
especially when you have a filmmaker like
yeah.
Christopher Nolan.
And we talk about like, what's the point of the great cinematography? Like the
Yeah,
point is not to make the most beautiful shot possible.
of
Although
course not.
obviously we all love those beautiful shots, but like it's a movie, it's a story.
Yeah. It's
In a
how
good
well
movie,
you can communicate what's going on psychologically
exactly.
with the
And it's the
characters you're
same thing
doing.
with good dialogue. Like you can have
Yeah,
a like super clever line that's not relevant. Like that's not good dialogue because you're
exactly.
trying to communicate something about the story and the characters.
Correct.
And it's the same
Yeah,
thing with
and
cinematography.
also efficient screenwriting isn't always the best. You have to have a good balance because you can have a line that's completely unrelated and sounds great, and it's kind of like word candy, but it's
Hmm
not meaningful. Or you can have like the opposite approach, complete opposite of like, let me have a line that only serves to move the plot forward, but doesn't necessarily make sense in context. And then when you get that, you end up with somehow Palpatine returned, right?
Oh yes, we
And
talk about this as the worst line of dialogue ever written.
I think that's fair to say.
I couldn't
I
think
think
of
that's
anything.
I think that's very fair to say. Somehow
Yeah,
Palpatine returned is probably the worst,
yeah, it's
but
efficient.
it's incredibly efficient. You don't get more efficient than
Yeah,
that. But
but
yeah,
there, it's a balance
it's a
with
toughie.
everything.
It's a
It's a
toughie.
balance.
Okay, so yeah, I chose a shot from Annie Hall. Annie Hall is my second favorite movie of all time, shot by who I consider to be the best cinematographer of all time. Um, the Prince of Darkness, Gordon Willis. He wasn't necessarily interested always in, you know, exposing for the face, exposing for the subject. He didn't always care about that. It wasn't like, okay, it's the 1930s and we have this beautiful actress and this amazing actor and we have to blast so many huge units onto their face to make sure we can see everything. It was like, no, Gordon Willis is going to do what he sees fit for the scene and he's going to produce some amazing images in every single movie he shoots. And he shot so many movies, it's insane. He shot, I mean, in the 70s alone, he worked with Woody Allen, Alan J. Pakula, and Francis Ford Coppola on all of their movies, or almost all of their movies in the 70s. And to me,
Yeah.
no cinematographer has had a better decade than Gordon Willis had in the 70s. I mean,
Hmm.
he had Clute, Parallax View, All the President's Men, Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Annie Hall, Manhattan. Just absolutely fucking crazy.
And those
And
are all
this,
movies where the cinematography is so deliberate, like we were talking about
absolutely,
earlier.
yeah,
And they're movies
yeah,
with great stories, and the cinematography perfectly
yeah.
accompanies.
I watched Clute for the first time probably like last year. I hadn't seen it, and I mean, every single DP I ever talked to was like, this is the movie to watch to
Hmm.
to become a DP is Clute. But yeah, Gordon Willis, what a genius! And this
This
shot,
shot,
yeah,
I mean, we've talked about the color before. Look at the blue,
yes,
and then the color of the sky,
slight lavender there,
just the
yeah,
tint of, yeah, like purplish,
hmm,
and the way that it's divided by that dock right on the horizon line.
yeah,
I mean, it really just like paints a picture, and
yeah,
like the way
absolutely,
that it frames the characters.
yeah. You couldn't draw anything better.
Yeah,
The amazing depth from the foreground elements, and there's kind of like the cake of light on their face, even though it's not baking them in light. There's a little bit
not
of a
like the Hugh
kiss,
Jackman
like
shot.
yeah, exactly. There's like a kiss of orange light from the sunset, and we're seeing them from the shadow side, and it's just an amazingly deep image, and it feels like something that you would see in an art class that you're being taught to draw, because
Yeah,
yeah, like you said, the horizon line is
yeah,
is exactly synced up with the dock,
yeah.
giving us converging the image. It's just
And the
amazing.
grass in the foreground, there's a lot going
Yeah,
on. It's very,
very busy.
and the colors, they're all soft, mute,
Yep.
but it's
Hmm.
still beautiful.
Yeah,
Sunset,
exactly. It's
water,
not overly saturated, but it's still,
shirt
but it
color.
doesn't look like a 2025 desaturated or 2026 desat.
Yeah.
Look. It's just beautiful. Okay, moving on to the wide lenses. Or, sorry, the wide shots. So wide shot. Okay, I'm gonna splice that. I fucked up. Something's up with my arrow keys. I don't know what's going on with them, but they are malfunctioning on me. So come on. Okay. Um, so moving on to the wide shot. Why? Okay. Moving on to the wide shot. Okay, Teddy, take it away.
Thank you. Um, so I chose Little Miss Sunshine,
Yep.
which is a movie that I love. It's such a great movie.
Amazing.
Amazing acting, and I think a very distinct style, which I think
Yeah,
this shot
absolutely.
shows more than any other shot. And this comes at, there's a lot of emotional moments, but I think this is probably the most emotional moment in the movie.
Hmm.
And just look at the way that it's set up. So we see that Paul Dano's character, the his whole body is below that horizon line, right? But his head is up there
Exactly.
in the
Right.
blue sky and the puffy clouds,
Hmm.
the way that he's framed, which, in this moment, which is like the most devastating moment of his light spoilers, the most
Yeah.
devastating moment of his life.
for sure.
where but he's being consoled by his little sister. No,
Yeah, yeah, little sister,
um,
and it's just a yeah amazing moment,
yeah.
beautifully framed.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, I mean, what more can you say?
Yeah, I love how you see the van, which is so key in the movie, and the three of them just standing on the ridge, sort of,
Yeah,
you
looking
know.
at this is for sure a top 10 screenplay of the 21st century, like kind of without a
I,
doubt.
I could get behind that for sure.
Um, One of the best screenplays
Hmm.
ever, one of the best stories ever.
Yeah,
So many incredible performances. I don't really know how anyone can watch this movie and walk away and say Paul Dano's a bad actor, but to each their own.
cough, cough.
Uh, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but
I mean, it's so well acted. Every actor does a great job,
yeah, excellent,
and
excellent movie,
the writing is yeah, it's just a great movie.
and it's enjoyable at a lot of points,
Yes.
despite its somewhat devastating low points.
Yeah,
It's
if you can do that, have a moment like this, which is for those who've seen it a very devastating moment, and then have funny, like I mean, Steve Carell is the star, and like
yeah,
there's like funny moments and silly humor at times. You form a great contrast, almost like what we see in the shot, the contrast between the ground and the sky.
yeah, no, for
I
sure.
think
It's
it's
a
great.
great image. That's a very, very good image. So now let's take a look at Barry Lyndon. This is a movie that, uh, okay, so in my opinion, it's the best shot movie ever. Uh, Shot by one of the best DPs ever, and obviously, in my opinion, the best director ever. And Barry Lyndon, Alcott and Kubrick, they basically got together and they were looking at a lot of Dutch paintings.
And you can tell
And
it's Dutch.
they were, yeah, you can seriously tell. And they based pretty much every wide shot they could off of different paintings. And they basically said, how can we emulate paintings in our cinematography? And that's why this movie took so long to shoot, and was such a grueling process. And to me, Ryan O'Neal, he's he's got a lot obviously that happened in his life, and perhaps wasn't a good person, but his performance in this movie is so fucking good. It's insane, and they shot the hell out of this movie. And this is, I mean, just a visual journey of an epic, and it is. I would consider it to be, an epic, um,
Hmm.
and just a great movie.
I mean,
Just an
look at this.
absolutely,
Look at that image. It looks
yeah.
like a painting. I mean, it's like,
It's
and
it's
it's
so
so
deliberate with the
deliberately.
light. Yeah,
Yes, yes, the way it's
the
set up,
light. Yeah,
the way every single person is placed, the light coming in through the window, the chair, the bottle,
yeah.
glasses, the paintings in the back. It's just like, I mean, how long do you think this shot took?
Probably a day, full day.
I was gonna say like a full day. I
Probably
mean,
12 hours of shooting and
yeah,
setup, and just genuinely because
that's the
in
Kubrick way, and
yeah,
I mean, if you want it to look like this,
yeah, it's
which you don't
it's
always want it to look like this,
no, but
for his
that
movies,
was
for his style.
that was their goal for Barry Lyndon, and
Yeah,
you can see Barry Lyndon, Ryan O'Neal right here,
yeah,
and it's amazing for also where he is at that point in the movie,
yeah.
because he goes through an insane amount of up and
Hmm.
downs in
Hmm.
that movie, for anybody who's seen it, and it's a ride, it's a ride.
Yeah,
Okay, now for the long shot. So we're looking here for wide shots on or full shots on a long lens, right? So placing the camera super duper far away, and then placing your lens, a really long lens on there to still get a wide shot, but there's a difference, with how the subject is placed to the background.
yeah.
And so that's really the effect. So Teddy, take it away.
I mean, if we talk about purely beautiful
Yeah,
movies,
for sure.
Blade Runner is among the first, if not the first, to come to mind.
Hmm.
Um,
And Roger Deakins, was tasked with following it up,
yeah,
all these years later, and he did it, man. And
yeah,
it's his first Oscar, right? So,
yeah.
um, yeah, 2049, man,
This is another
insane.
movie that it feels like everything, like every moment, how it's shot, how it's framed, like thought and time was put into that.
Hmm.
And it's a slow movie. It
Oh
takes
yeah,
its time, but we really get to live in these moments.
in Kay's world for sure.
in Kay's world, like this one. I mean, it feels like, especially if you were lucky enough to see it in theaters, it feels like you're in there with him.
Hmm.
Um, which is why it's a good usage of the long shot.
Oh yeah,
You know, it
yeah,
really pulls you in there with him. And I mean, we've talked about the coloring, the oranges and the blues.
yeah,
You can get a little more obvious with the orange
yeah,
than this right here. But it's
yeah.
beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Deakins. I mean, everybody knows he's a genius. Doesn't have to be said again, but it should be because he's just that good. It's crazy. Um, yeah, and this is kind of that moment of reckoning for Kay's character, where he's not that special, turns out, and you know, it's a very human moment. I think all of us when we're kids, like we think we're invincible and superheroes,
Chosen
but
one.
we're not.
He's just a
Roger,
guy.
we're not. Roger Deakins is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Roger Deakins is the chosen
but
one.
him having a human moment when the whole movie has told us he's not a human
Yeah.
is very key.
Yep. Yep. There's a debate of which one is better, 2049 or the original, but I think you just got to appreciate the visuals of both.
Yeah.
Because I would probably say the original Blade Runner is like probably a top five best shot movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, every Ridley Scott movie is shot insanely well, of course. But
I love having these conversations because every time I'm just like, oh my God, there are so many good movies.
yeah, it's
Like people
insane.
are really good at making movies.
There's a lot of people who are really good. There's a lot of
And
people who are really bad, and you can learn just as much from those
you can
too.
still learn from them.
Yeah,
And even those people, I have some respect for them because they went out there and tried to do something.
yeah, correct. So my choice, okay, it wouldn't be a list without, it wouldn't be a list of best shots without a Wong Kar-wai selection. I think, and probably this is what his famous or second most famous movie, probably behind Chung King, is In the Mood for Love. And yeah, so anybody who's seen the movie, they know like this is just one of the craziest rides of a movie that you could possibly watch, and every single shot is, I mean, it feels like a French New Wave movie. Every single shot like blossoms into something else, and this is one of those shots. We're watching them, Chang and Chen walking away, and we feel like we're right there, spying on them. Like we feel like we've got binoculars watching from a distance, and that's
Again, the
different from
value of the
from
long
yeah
shot.
from how a lot of other shots in this movie or scenes in this movie are shot. Like the noodle store, we're literally right there with them. But at this moment, it's like we're walking away, and there's this mystique of, or this not mystique rather, but like a question of,
Mhm.
are they actually going to do it? Are they going to both cheat on their spouses, even though like their spouses are cheating on them? It's super super duper good. Uh, I'm still a little confused on what the DP situation on this movie was. I know Christopher Doyle is celebrated for the cinematography in this movie, and there's like three credited DPs, but I believe it's like his visual project, even though he had some other people shooting it with him physically. I don't fully know. All I know is it's a masterpiece, and every single shot is
Whatever
incredible.
they did, it worked.
Whatever they did worked exactly. So now I think we've got some honorable mentions, right? Right, Teddy?
Yes, we have a
Okay.
decent bit of honorable mention.
Let's get into it. Yeah, yeah.
Of
Okay.
course.
It had to make the list. It had to show up.
If we talk
Um,
about movies based on how iconic they are,
ah,
based on commercial success,
yeah,
we've had a few legends on here based on how well regarded the directors are. I mean, obviously
yeah,
Kubrick was on here, but
yeah. But there's a numero uno.
yeah,
There has
all
to
heads
be.
must bow.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, yeah. We're proud of it. So
yeah,
right out. Yeah, premiered last week. Still
yeah,
working on how it's going to be viewed by the public, but stay tuned on
yes,
that.
we'll see
And all the visuals will be out eventually.
at some point. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Yeah. So got us through this, Teddy.
yes. So these are honorable mentions that I picked. When I was looking at my close-ups, I ended up doing the one from Django, but I heavily considered this one from 2001,
Yeah, for
and it just
sure.
got me thinking about the sort of legacy of all these different shots from these great sci-fis
Oh yeah.
across the generations and how they've inspired each other and how they've grown and changed. Um, And I remember really being reminded of 2001 and Interstellar when I saw Project Hail Mary
Yeah, absolutely.
a few months ago when it came out, which still my favorite of the year so far. I mean, wonderful, wonderful movie.
Mm, good.
Um, but these
Yeah.
shots are deliberate. Like, so what are we doing? We're showing the astronaut, the helmet, the close up, and we're seeing the reflections on their face.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it can shift the perspective of what we're viewing. So if we look on the left at 2001, this comes near the end of the movie when he's having this, he's traveling through this crazy wormhole
Yep.
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for a long time, it shows
Sorry, man.
just what he's going through, the
Yeah.
colors and stuff. But then when we see him, it shifts the perspective. The Project Hail Mary shot does something very similar, um, where we're getting this beautiful shot when he turns on the infrared of all the little astrophage around him in the Petriva line.
Yep.
But then again, it's shifting because it's at the end of the day, these are human stories, right? They're
Correct.
about space, but really they're about
Yeah.
people.
To me, every single movie like this that has a character, in space exploring is about the humility of humanity and how little we ultimately know. And in our, everlasting pursuit for knowledge,
Hmm.
we're always a little bit scared. We're always a little bit deer in headlights. I mean, look at Dave. Look
Yeah,
how deer in headlights he is.
yeah.
It's crazy. Also, we got to shout out Steve Buscemi down here, Living in Oblivion. Anyone who has not seen Living in Oblivion, uh, oh
Get
my
on
god,
that.
please, it's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, wide shot. Here we go. Okay,
This is
okay,
another pick by me. Maybe
interesting.
a little more unexpected. Maybe a
Yeah.
little bit recency bias. Um, but
Did you see Supergirl?
I haven't yet. It came out like 2 days ago. I'm
Yeah,
going
it
to.
did. I'm not. I haven't. Well, I might see it. I don't know.
I'll watch it because I did like Superman.
I didn't like the tagline
I didn't
of
either. Truth,
Supergirl.
justice, or whatever.
It's so stupid. It's like why?
It's supposed to be about like her personality and versus
Yeah,
like
but
Superman. I
eh,
don't know.
come
I'll
on.
still watch it. I like Millie Alcock.
Sure.
Um, but Superman, I've never been a big Superman fan
Yeah.
historically. I did not think that I was gonna like this movie, and I did like it. I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's very fun. But I chose this movie. This scene. I actually got the chills watching this scene, which doesn't happen that often in movies. I
Yeah.
mean, we have this boy in this war-torn country. Look, there's explosions, there's people
Yeah.
running, and it seems all hope is lost. And he pushes up. It looks like the Iwo Jima statue, and he raises the flag,
Yep.
and he puts his faith in Superman, which to me represents putting faith in human kindness.
Sure.
That's a big part of this movie that they think that Superman is this god. He's separate from humanity, and his perfectness comes from Krypton. But we learn that it really comes from humanity,
Yeah.
and the moment encapsulates that perfectly.
Yeah.
Putting faith in the goodness of humans, which I think is the message of this movie.
Yeah. I also think we'll probably see a shift towards that in every movie in the next 25 years. Now that we've sort of been presented with AI, sort of this thing that
Yeah,
can do things better than we do, quote unquote, more efficiently than we do, absolutely. But can it really do what we do?
yeah, right.
That's going to be the question.
Sometimes I want to raise my flag, put my faith
Yeah.
in the goodness of humanity.
Absolutely. Okay. Here we go. I've got 400 Blows here, Truffaut. Many would call it his masterpiece, probably the truth. And in his sort of like, okay, these are movies. I'm not a Truffaut expert, but this is part of like his 5 film series of his childhood, basically, or a representation of how he saw himself as a kid. And here we have the main character at the end. He's escaped like juvie. I mean, watch the movie still. Even giving away the plot of the 400 Blows isn't really giving away anything because you just have to watch it for how Truffaut tells the story. It doesn't even matter. The plot's not that crazy. The plot's good, but it's not that crazy. Let's be real. It's not that insane. And you just have to watch it for the journey of the visuals. And the ending here, he runs around on the beach and kind of experiences this freedom that he hasn't really had the chance to experience yet, even though he's been searching it out so actively. And he finally gets it here at the end. And it's just a great, great, great shot. This is one of the best wide shots to me in history for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And then here, we got to show him love. My favorite cinematographer. Do you get a better over the shoulder shot than this in any movie ever? I don't think you do. Not to mention it coming back later in, the big twist. Old boy. What a movie.
Yeah.
What a fucking movie. I love it so much.
I didn't like it that much. We've talked about this. I like it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah. I watch it again. You gotta watch it again.
The ending is
It's
great.
just that good. The ending's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I love
And it's
Old Boy.
obviously well shot, obviously.
Yeah, so well shot. Chung Hyun Chung, man, great filmography, great work every single time he picks up a camera. But yeah, so that is the shot sizes